It's Richard Corben's birthday. Hi, welcome to Garage Geek. Coincidentally, it's Richard Corben's birthday, and this is a series of 4 comic books, Startling Stories 1 through 4, that Richard Corben did, and I was lucky recently to get this in a Facebook sale for just a couple of bucks. Now, Richard Corben is a very famous independent artist whose work on Den is actually being reprinted, I believe from Dark Horse, but I'm not exactly sure about that. Now, Richard Corben's art style is very unique, very strange. It was so different when I was young that I was really attracted to it. And he's also famous for creating a color style all of his own. I think he was one of the first artists to use digital coloring, but I'm not sure about that. But unfortunately, he did not color these 4 issues. I believe he was much older when he did this, but we're actually really lucky to have independent artists like Richard Corben work on a mainstream comic like the Hulk. And the Hulk is so fitting for Richard Corben because it's very similar to the kind of stuff that he drew for Heavy Metal magazine and in his independent comics. Now, this story was written by Brian Azzarello. It's really good. It actually treats the Hulk as if he were this mindless monster that goes on rampages. He racks up a body count, and there's lots of destruction. So I understand why this wasn't printed in a mainstream Hulk comic, The Incredible Hulk, but it was in Startling Stories because it's almost as if this is a Hulk that is in another dimension or an alternate reality. Now, Richard Corben's art style is not for everyone, but it's interesting and it's quirky and it's actually really perfect for something like the Hulk. Now, there's going to be a lot of really interesting material in this that you wouldn't normally get in a Hulk comic. For example, we have a scene where Bruce Banner is trying to commit suicide, but of course, that won't happen because as soon as he fires the gun, the Incredible Hulk takes over and spits out the bullet. You really have some great panels, although we do get a lot of these onomatopoeic sound words that often intrude on the art. I'm going to show you an example of that. Here's this great double-page spread. It's really hard to see, but Doc Samson is hanging from the undercarriage of a plane, and he smashes into the Hulk like that. But look at that bubble taking up a lot of the art. And I mean, if you look at his feet, they're so weirdly drawn, but his art is just so compelling. This story really is a story about Doc Samson and Banner. So Banner is trying to live with the fact that he's a walking time bomb that even in this comic, the military used as a weapon. So for example, in this scene, Banner's recounting how the military just dropped him from a plane. And the next thing that he remembers is he wakes up and he's surrounded by devastation and bodies. Now, I'm going to say that the artwork in this is probably not going to appeal to everyone. I mean, Doc Samson in this comic just looks insane. For me, I feel like the writer wanted that as a side effect of his exposure to radiation. But it fits in with Richard Corben's art style. And like I said, this really might not appeal to everyone. But if you want an interesting, quirky look at a mainstream character done from an independent artist's rendering, you might want to track this one down. You can find the individual issues of this comic. They sell it on eBay. I checked, between $12 and $20. There's only 4 issues. The cover art is also interesting. Am I going to say that this is an absolute must-read? No. Number one, it's too short. There's only 4 issues. But who I would recommend this for is someone who wants to see a mainstream comic done by a team that is going to do something very different with the character. So do you know about Richard Corben's artwork? Do you know about his work on Den? Are you going to be picking up his reprinted work, or do you actually have some of the Heavy Metal magazines that feature the work of Den? Any comments would be greatly appreciated. What is your experience with Richard Corben? I want to thank all of you for your support.